Welcome to the CrossFit Max podcast.
What is going on, team, and thank you for tuning in. The wifey and I teamed up last weekend and went to go throw down at our first team competition together. So this episode, we're just going to do a full debrief on the entire experience. So we hope you dig it. And if you do, make sure you give us a rating and a review. And let's get to it. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. We in it.
To win it.
What's up, folks?
Welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Are you going to sing for us?
No, this is actually a habit that I've picked up. You know when you start to become one of your friends?
Yeah, do you become friends? Become one of your friends?
You know when you spend a lot of time with someone and then
Yeah.
you start to speak like them and talk like them?
Is this Malice?
Yeah, and she freaking sings random sentences all the time.
Straight up.
She just... Anyways. And now I've started doing it and I can't stop and it's problematic.
All right. Well, sing for us the whole episode, my love.
I will sing this episode.
Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Maybe you guys have tuned off now, but maybe you guys are still here.
I'm so sorry for my impromptu singing. And I honestly can't promise that won't be the last time this episode.
Banter topic. 2 banter topics, actually. One, quick one.
Quickie.
If you listened to last week's episode, we were asking some people if they had listened or they were listening to our podcast while running. Then they needed to write to us.
Yes.
Both Eli and Malice wrote to us.
Oh, really?
While they were running.
Nice.
Yeah, which was funny. Eli also
Oh my
sent,
gosh, his message was so funny. You have to share it with the...
like the exact message.
Share the message with the pod because I laughed.
So was it? I guess it might have been in the morning or anyway. So I got a message from Eli on our CrossFit Max Facebook, and he wrote, checking in per the podcast instructions, listening to the podcast while jogging, had to stop and send this DM. So funny. And I said, yes, lol. And then he responded, thank you, CrossFit Max, for giving me the confidence to wear short shorts, take my shirt off, and flex in front of the mirror with my hairy chest exposed to the world. Only missing the man bun.
I think that is one of my favorite messages ever.
And then he sent me a selfie.
Nice selfie. A mirror selfie flexing with his short shorts and his hairy chest out. And honestly...
Looking good.
Mad respect. And he looks good.
Looking jacked,
How old
man.
is Eli?
Oh
boy.
Kiddos are what, 15, 13 if I were to guess?
Like
Mid
40?
Mid 40s?
45?
Yeah, somewhere around there I would say.
I don't know.
Young
He
40s.
looks freaking good.
Yeah, he looks great. Eli, thanks for sending that message. And also Malice sent a selfie of her literally running, saying that she was listening to the pod.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
You're talking to my friend behind my back?
Yep. Exactly.
I see how it is.
Exactly, yeah.
You're always fraternizing with the enemy.
So I thought that was pretty funny. So banter topic, that was kind of part 1. But part 2, Susie and I have been contemplating making this podcast a visual podcast. And
Because we're so cute.
just because we figured you guys would want to see Susie singing more often.
You can have the full effect.
So we're thinking about turning this podcast. I mean, right now, for the members at CrossFit Max, maybe some of them have seen it. It's just pretty much a black room with a table and 2 mics in front. And to be honest, I would say probably for the better part of a year and a half, Susie did a decent amount of editing, the ums and the uhs, or even breaks that happened in between. Something would happen and we'd have to leave the podcast to go out and then come back and continue. We've also been doing a lot of podcasts from our kitchen. But I think now that we have a more settled routine in, we can avoid doing the kitchen late night podcast while Tommy's sleeping. And yeah, so we've gone semi-decent at continuing the conversation and not needing to pause or not needing breaks or even the editing side of things.
I've also just gotten a little lazier. with my editing.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if
I just feel like it's not worth cutting out all the likes and ums. And this is just who we are, people.
Yeah. So I wonder if people have noticed this, but we were thinking about doing a visual, which I don't know if that makes it easier for the editing, but we're thinking about making it a visual experience as well, because I've had a lot of people in the past say, hey, you guys should make this visual because I like to watch the podcast as well. So yeah, let us know if this is something you would.
I still think 90% of listeners are going to listen only.
Listen only, yeah.
Just because you usually do it while you're driving or running or whatever. So it's not a time where you have the capacity for visual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but some people I think have mentioned that they like to turn it on a screen while they're working, and they like to look back and forth, and it adds a certain element of personality, and I don't know. You
could see our facial expressions and no, I think. Let us know if you're someone that would like to see the podcast go visual as well. Then it won't only be visual. You can also listen to it just audio version. Yeah, like you do already.
Yep. And I think I'm not sure how it works to upload the visual side of things, because I know on Spotify they have visual as well. So I'm not sure if it's just upload the file like we do now, and then that software we use spreads it out to all the platforms like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all the things. So I'm not really sure how streaming the visual side works, but I know I've watched a few visuals on Spotify, sometimes on YouTube as well, but mostly on Spotify. I'm not sure how it works on Apple. I should probably just go and take a peek at how it works on Apple, but yeah, let us know if you're someone who's interested in doing that. We were thinking about just making some actual aesthetic upgrades to the room to make it,
visually
appealing.
Pleasing. Yeah.
So yeah, let us know. What are your thoughts, love? Would you want to make this thing visual?
I think so. I think from what I was trying to say before was that as a podcast listener, 90% of the time that I listen, I don't look at the people, but every once in a while, for certain creators, I like to watch it because I think it is extra funny to see their faces and to see them speaking versus just listening. So, I mean, it is fun. I'm nervous because I feel like then I'm going to be nervous again. You know, like the first time you put the camera up, you're always like, oh, I feel a little uncomfy. You know, I'm so used to podcasting with you now that I'm not mindful that I'm being watched or listened to while we're talking.
Yeah.
I'm just like hanging out with you and then boom, upload.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would be like a learning curve at the beginning to be like, we'll have to
put on clothes. You know, we can't be doing this naked anymore.
Brandon, ridiculous.
I mean, maybe we could stream it naked also, you know.
There's probably a market for that. And that is such a Susie comment that you just made. The role reversal is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a fun element.
He's blushing about his own joke, guys. See, if you were visual, you would know that.
Yeah. There's definitely a fun element of thinking about, you know, decorating the place a little bit in this office here and making it visually aesthetic, and the fun elements of starting something newer, even though it's not really new. But yeah, you know,
I feel like we didn't want to invest a lot in this room at the beginning because we had no idea what was going to come of the pod. But now it's like we've released an episode every week for 2 years. I think we can permit ourselves some cool chairs.
Yeah, we've now hit 20,000+ downloads.
We're basically famous.
That's pretty cool. That's crazy that many people have listened to us that many times. That's a lot of downloads.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
For the excellent content.
What's the goal for the next year?
Of downloads?
We should go back. And
year?
We actually put up a goal for downloading or for downloads for our podcast, and I literally can't remember. If anyone's going back and listening to our podcast, you'll have to
tell us
know
what we said.
Yeah. Because I remember at one point we hit 10,000, and I can't remember how long it took us to hit 10,000, but I think it took us a lot longer to hit 10,000 than it did for us to hit 20,000.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it should be growing faster now.
Yeah.
We're in 1st of September right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we have how many months left of the year? 3.
4.
Oh. September.
9,
October,
10, 11,
November,
12.
December. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
4. 4 months left of the year. In 4 months, how many more downloads do you think we're going to get? Like, are we going to finish
4,000 or
the
5,000
year at like 25,000?
That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be sick.
If we can get there, that'd be awesome.
Tell your friends.
Yeah. Maybe if we make it visual, then it'll bump up.
People just want to look at us.
Yeah.
But then, do we have to look cute? No, that would be
Nah.
just like very off-brand.
Yeah. You just gotta
Show up how we would have showed up anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had someone else last week talking to me about starting their own podcast. And I told them it was a great idea. They had a really good mission. I don't want to spoil it for them, but they had a really good mission. They had a really good topic. It really was a solid idea. And I told them, I was like, hey, if you need any assistance on just getting it started, my advice is just getting one out there and going, because really clicking record and then publishing is the 2 hardest things you can do.
Absolutely.
It doesn't really matter what you say during the process. Just starting that record button and then clicking publish is super scary. And
quite the adrenaline rush on the first one.
Yeah. You put this thing out there, and Susie and I are sitting in a room just talking to each other, and you don't really know who's listening on the other end. But then you see there's a couple hundred people that have listened in the last week, last 7 days.
Yeah.
And then you go back and you're like, oh shoot, we just hit 20,000 downloads. Like that's a lot of different people listening to our show here. So yeah.
It makes me wonder how it must feel for people who they upload episodes and they have like millions of downloads.
It's crazy.
Like when Taylor Swift was on Travis Kelce's podcast.
Do you think you can get Taylor on for us? That'd be great.
Tay, since you do podcasts now, we were just wondering.
my girl Susie over here.
I feel like we have so much in common. We're both blonde.
All right, this episode sucks already. Let's get into the fun, juicy stuff of the pod.
Tell them what we're talking about.
Susie and I got to compete in our first competition together over the weekend.
Spoiler alert, we're still married.
Still married. She still loves me.
Well, I didn't say that. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you.
We still love each other lots. We had a fabulous day.
We did.
The competition was at a CrossFit gym called Gym L'Atelier in Laval, and it's that's their name, but then they also go by CrossFit 1966. I don't know why that date. Maybe it's some meaning of significance to them, but it was really cool to go to a different CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
Relatively local, within 30 to 40 minute drive.
Yeah, it wasn't too far.
Yeah. And it was cool to go into the gym for the first time. I've been following them for a while. The owner, of that gym, or maybe one of the owners, I'm not entirely sure, is the head CrossFit trainer for most of Canada. So when people want to become CrossFit trainers, they have to go to the CrossFit Level 1 or the CrossFit Level 2. And Matt Dubruck is the guy that pretty much runs those weekend seminars.
Those programs. So he's coaching the coaches.
Exactly. So I have had the great opportunity to be taught by him at my Level 1 and my Level 2. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, he was actually the old owner of CrossFit Laval. And that's, 10-ish years ago, where Coach B went to go get his CrossFit Level 1.
Little Brandon.
Yeah, and it was at his gym.
Cool.
And now he's, he was also the head trainer for the CrossFit Level 2 that I went to, which is coming up on 4 years. I think next month it'll be 4 years since I got my Level 2.
That means you're doing your Level 3 soon, or what?
Means I got to get my Level 3 done within the next year, or I could redo my Level 2, but I have a feeling I'm just going to go for the Level 3. Yeah. But yeah, anyways. So going into that competition, I knew, and last thing I'll say about him is that when we went to the CrossFit Games a couple weeks ago, I saw him as one of the judges on the floor.
Oh,
so
cool.
he was judging a lot of the athletes, like literally at the CrossFit Games on the competition floor.
That's a pressure.
Yeah. So I know he's very high up there at the CrossFit seminar staff and all those things. So I knew that going into this event that it wouldn't be like a shit show. I knew that it was going to be somewhat well run. Yeah. And yeah, going to that gym, going to a different space, it's always really nice. Someone asked me, "Oh, did you notice like these little things as like an owner?" And I was like, "Of course I did. Yes. Of course I noticed all the paint, the equipment that they used, the setup that they had. Granted, the gym was set up for a CrossFit competition, but just their layout of things, where their bathrooms were, where their front entry was, how was it compared to the back area, like all those things, where were their rings hung up, like all those things I
clocked.
Yeah. So that was really fun just from a owner's perspective and someone who's looking at all these things. So there was like this exciting moment of going into a CrossFit gym, even if it's not a CrossFit gym, even if it's just any gym. I always get this slight excitement of, well, how is it going to look in there? How is it going to be run? You know? And then from organization of the event, I think they did a terrific job.
They did.
We showed up there. I like the fact that they had emailed us information.
Yeah, they had sent us a lot of information.
And then they said, hey, at 7:00 you can come. Doors will open at 7:30. We're going to have a full debrief of all of the events and everything. If you want to show up to that, you can. And then at 8 a.m. they had their like team powwow. I'm assuming he's talking to all the judges and everything like that, making sure his team is all on the same page for the event. And then at about 8:30, the first wave went off. So you could have, if you were a nervous athlete or you just had questions, you could go there earlier. Or for us who are a little bit
more confident, we can read the workout and understand what it means.
Yeah. And like you have like tiny little questions you can quickly ask your judge in the moment. But yeah, so someone who's a little bit more advanced.
Ain't no way we were getting there for 7 a.m. is what Brandon is saying.
Yeah. Well, we also had like Tommy babysat.
Yes.
So yeah, so we were able to show up around 8:00 and just kind of warm up and then get right into our event, which was awesome.
No, I feel like the first event was the warm up.
No, I was definitely warming up for that first event. You were crazy for not warming up.
I did warm up.
Did you?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. The two people we got to really spend the day with, which was really fun, was Axel and Marianne.
Yeah, that was nice to spend the whole day together.
And we got to spend the day with them, and they legit did not do a warm-up. They legit
that was crazy.
Started the workout, no warm-up.
That was literally crazy.
I mean, props to them for being able to do that, but my body cannot sustain that. Yeah. So
Brandon is basically needs, like, if the workout is 10 minutes, he needs at least 40 to warm up.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so showing up for the event, it was just really unfortunate that
it was such the worst weather.
Yeah, like it was a really heavy rainy day, which kind of sucked. But again, on their organization side, they had this big tent outside that was for the warm-up area, so you can kind of go in there. And then they did inform other competitors to bring tents and things like that in case the weather. And there were people that did. So
we did not, but we luckily found this little corner of the gym where we just put our chairs casually and no one told us to move.
Yeah, exactly.
We brought our foldable chairs, the ones you bring to your kids' soccer games or whatever.
Yeah, the lawn chairs,
luckily we had those with us, so we had somewhere to sit. But it was cold and wet.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had like sweatpants and like a little sweater on, but I honestly wished I would have had like a full-on jacket. Like it was cold when you were waiting to work out. While you were working out, it kind of made for good temperature, I feel like.
Yeah.
But because I can imagine it would have gotten really hot in there otherwise. Like,
did you notice the ceiling fans they had? They had like two big fans up there. Yeah. Thought that was interesting. Small details.
But anyway, so yeah, it was cold and like the weather, I mean, you can't control the weather, but what a bummer. It's like a beautiful day today, 2 days later, and I'm like, what a difference it would have been had it been in weather like this today.
So let's talk about maybe to start this conversation on the actual event itself, let's talk about the layout of the gym. We'll kind of paint the picture for all the listeners here. So the gym is pretty much a massive rectangle.
It's like, yeah.
And we were at the back of the gym, and then the back of the gym had a massive garage door, and where Susie was, and the garage door was open, and where Susie is saying that where we sat down was literally at the corner of the garage door, the opening of the place.
Yeah.
So massive rectangular gym, and they have a rig all along the wall, essentially.
Yeah.
And then from the garage, like if you picture at the very end of that rectangle, there's a big garage door. Right next to that massive garage door is just a normal back door. The back door is where on the exterior of the building, there was a massive tent, and that was where the warm-up area was.
Yep.
And that was also the area of which you would enter the competition floor. So there was like a piece of tape going back to the interior from that door, kind of along the rectangular wall, and they formed like a mini rectangle for 6 lanes.
Yeah. There were 6 lanes, and there was like the danger tape around. So the competition floor was clearly marked.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool how like there was kind of like that entrance onto the competition floor. Like you didn't just like stroll up, like you had to kind of go through the door. You know, like you imagine like a football player going through their little door when they come out onto the field.
Their little door. It's called the tunnel, love.
Their
Football
tunnel.
starts in 6 days. No, not even 4 days.
Oh my God. Anyways, through the tunnel sort of vibe, like it gave that sort of energy.
Yeah.
It was cool. I like that.
So you warm up in the exterior of the building underneath that tent, and then you know, they did a really good job of having the judges like call out your name and then bring you to that door and like make you wait when it was your turn to like go in.
And
then
had,
you
like,
could
lanes.
Yeah, but I'm talking about before we even enter there, like the judge is like, hey, do you have any questions? Blah, 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 blah. You know, they're talking about the event. So it was like really well informed. And then once once they're like, okay, let's go in. And then the next wave would come in, and then you would enter that door onto the competition floor, and everything was really well taped on the ground. They had numbers on the ground there were 6 lanes, right? Or 7?
6.
6 lanes on the ground. We were lane 3 throughout the entire process.
Yeah.
And
right in the middle.
It was cool. They also, so that was kind of the layout of the space. They also gave us like a little gift bag when we showed up to do the athlete check-in, and we had a little sign that had our team name, which our team name was My Wife is Fitter, which I think was an awesome name. And so you kind of just put like your little what do you call it, sign
in front of your lane, so then people could cheer for you if they wanted.
Exactly. And then they also had, you know, right kind of next and above, they had a DJ set up on a little booth area. Yeah,
like a platform
like,
or something.
Like a higher platform. And the DJ did a great job the whole day. And Matt was on the microphone emceeing the event, so he really kept everyone in the loop on like how each laneway was going and stuff. Yeah,
it was cool. He was announcing like people's scores as we were going.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, you know, when you go to the Bell Center and you see the Montreal Canadiens play?
Yes.
It reminded me of like the sound that like he sounded like the guy that would either do an announcement on like RDS, like
just because he
network.
Was like a Quebecois man.
But like the sound of his voice, it sounded like just so
he has
French.
a good announcer voice.
Yeah, and it sounded exactly like a French sporting event. Like if you're at the Bell Center, or
he kept it very exciting.
Yeah. But he had a good voice for
That's funny.
So that was pretty much the layout. I don't know if I'm missing anything else. They had some, on the exterior part, they had some really cool vendors as well. They had coffee,
cool.
They had Jugo juice. They had like a meal prep company that brought in some food.
Pure Prep.
Yep. And Cafe Depot was the coffee sponsor of the event.
No, it was a really nicely set up and clearly well thought out.
Yeah. So that's the layout, the picture of everything.
Let's talk about the workouts.
Let's talk about the fun, juicy stuff here. So event 1, you want to take it away here?
Sure.
I'm going to open up my drink.
Okay, so event 1 was 3 6-minute AMRAPs with a 2-minute rest in between. The first AMRAP was maximum calories on the Echo bike. The second AMRAP was maximum calories on the Echo rower. And the third AMRAP was maximum burpee box jump overs. Okay, so each of those were 6 minutes, and we had a nice quick little 2-minute rest in between. Mm-hmm. And you can split the work however you want.
Yep.
So there was no, you could make up a strategy as your team and kind of do whatever you wanted in this situation. So should we say how we split it up?
Yeah. So we entered. We got on the floor.
Yeah, we were in the second wave. So there was 7 waves of athletes, and we were in the second wave. So we never really got to actually see anybody do the workout before us, because by the time wave 1 was doing the workout, we were kind of getting in line at that door to prep ourselves. So I feel like that was like maybe a little bit of a disadvantage on the day. Like we never got to see anybody do the workout.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's also kind of nice to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was good being in wave 2.
Yeah.
I feel like if you could pick, you would pick to be like what, wave 3 or 4 maybe?
Yeah, 3 or 4 for sure.
3 or 4 is probably like the best spot to
Just
be.
get an idea of like, okay, like, well, how does wave 1? How does wave 2? Okay, now I have time to go warm up and stuff.
And then you do your thing and you're done before the last wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but we were wave 2. So the way this workout worked is wave 1 started on the bike. Then they had a 2-minute rest. Then they went on the road. Then they had a 2-minute rest. And then when they were getting to their burpee box jump overs, we actually started on the bike.
Yeah.
So, which we didn't really realize until it sort of happened. They kind of shuffled us in to get towards our bikes. And we thought we had 6 more minutes to wait before we started. And then they were like, okay, 30 seconds. And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then the way we split the bike was like 30-second intervals.
Yeah.
I started, you finished. And I feel like it's fun to know now. Yeah. I was so glad that you were doing the like last 30 seconds each time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most painful 30 seconds.
It was tough, yeah. The Echo bike starting, I mean, it was the first thing you're doing for the entire competition. And just 6
like
minutes of Echo bike. Yeah. It really is like a push yourself. You got to, every calorie matters. So, yeah, we didn't hold back.
I never felt so unfit in my life, but I know that the reason I was feeling like that is because I was so close to my red line.
Yeah.
Like I was really pushing myself. So physically in my body, I felt like I was like actually dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I'd look up at the timer and I'd be like, it's been 2 minutes.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so we did 30 seconds, and we just alternated.
Yeah,
like
we were
that.
at a little disadvantage too because we're like wildly different in height. You're very, very tall, so you have long legs, which means you really do have to adjust the seat each time.
Yeah.
And their Echo bikes are not brand new like ours, and I'm spoiled. At our gym, ours are still brand new, so the transition to change them over here I find super smooth. They just slide up and down.
Yeah.
Whereas at their gym, like it was getting stuck. I feel like we were losing a few seconds every time just trying to like manage the seat.
Yeah.
But
that's just
extra
us.
rest.
Yeah. That's just us.
So then, yeah, after 6 minutes of Echo bike, we hopped off, and I thought that my legs were no longer attached to my body. Like there was just the first 20 seconds was fine, and then after 20 seconds I got this like surge of lactic acid in my quads, and I was like, I cannot bend my knees. Like my legs are no longer responding to my brain.
Yeah.
And we have a minute and 20 seconds before we have to go again on the next thing.
Yeah.
Is that how you felt too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
My
the
quads were
rest
wrecked.
goes by so quick, and you're just trying to manage your pain level at that point. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, so Susie started on the Echo rower, which was the first time she got to go on the Rogue
I
Echo
never
rower.
even touched it before the first time.
I got to literally do maybe 2 minutes of it max at the CrossFit Games. There was one outside the Rogue booth, and I was like, oh, let me go hop on that real quick, and I wanted to go try it out. So I did get a little bit of exposure before. It was interesting.
Yeah, it's not wildly different than a Concept 2 rower.
For those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, for the last, I don't know, 15 years, the Concept 2 row machine has been the gold standard for rowing machines, and it's the rowing machine that every CrossFit gym has.
Right.
In the world.
Yes.
Like there's no like other rowing machine that a CrossFit gym will own. It's all C2.
Until now.
And then last year, a few years ago, Rogue came out with the Rogue Echo bike, which kind of replaced the Assault bike. Assault Fitness is also another brand, and it's a bike that also uses your arms. So Rogue came out with the Echo bike, where you use your arms and your legs to pedal on the machine. And it's a much more sturdy machine, and the longevity on it is much higher. The Assault bike used to break all the time and used to be so frustrating. So Rogue has really stepped up. Rogue has been the gold standard for CrossFit equipment for many, many years now. And anyways, so last year they came up with the Rogue Echo rower, which was really unique. And it was I believe the first time that the CrossFit Games allowed in the open a different machine than the C2 row. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so in the rule book, you were allowed to use for the open workout that had rowing in it, you were allowed to use either the Concept 2 row, or you could use the Echo rower, which I thought was really interesting. At the CrossFit Games, they also use the Echo rower as well, because the CrossFit Games is sponsored by Rogue.
Right.
And anyways, so this gym has a whole bunch of them, which I thought was cool.
It was very cool. I found that when we got on, I was already delirious from the previous 6 minutes, and I didn't know where to look on the screen. Like, it was a new screen, and I was like, I don't know what my cadence is. I don't know where to look for the time. Like, I was confused. And if anyone knows this, when you're competing or when you're at your red line, like, your brain isn't thinking straight. Like, you don't have the capacity for thinking. So I was just like frustrated when I was rowing, and I couldn't figure out where to look.
I think on the Echo rower, from what I believe, because I too, when I got on the machine, was trying to figure out like what my pace was. And I think what they did is they tried to make it just like the Echo bike,
right,
where it's one screen. So on that screen, you have your calories per hour, and you also have your distance. Yeah, so you have both on the same screen. I was
honestly,
able to spot,
gun to my head, I couldn't tell you where it was.
I was able to spot my calories per hour. That's what I was trying to look for, and I eventually found it. It wasn't like crazy hard, but like you said, like,
it's not that it was hard. Yeah. It's that my brain wasn't working well.
If someone were to just sit on the machine and start casually rowing, you'd be able to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
But when you got like a crowd around you, like you're already, like you said, delirious after 6 minutes of going all out on the Echo bike.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to go as hard as you can. There's no time to just like, let me analyze the screen right now. So I was trying to and I spotted it. I said, okay, calories per hour. Like, that's what I need to look at. I have no idea how many calories we actually finished with.
Me neither. I have no idea.
But anyway, so I actually like the machine. It's not
too.
super different. The only thing I felt was that I feel, and maybe this is the way that the seat is made, but I feel like you're rowing a little bit on like a decline. Like, I feel like you're rowing downwards. On the Concept 2 row machine, I feel like you're very like parallel to the ground. You're more upright, and maybe because the cushion of the seat is like a little bit higher up, versus, from what I remember, the cushion on the Echo rower is thinner.
It's very thin.
And it feels like when you're pulling at the very end of your stroke, it feels almost like you're going downwards on the rowing machine, which makes it harder to
come back in.
And usually we call that the recovery. So coming back for the recovery felt like work, because I felt like I was rowing down.
I don't know if I felt that, honestly. At that point, I was just trying to be in survival mode. And I was like, I know that this is not my strongest part of the workout. And I was just holding on for dear life. My grip was like screaming at me.
Yeah. Yeah, so we finished that. We did 45-second intervals on that one.
Just because transitioning, feet in and out and on and off the
also
rower, you lose time.
The straps were different on the road. They're on the inside rather than the outside, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, so we did 45 seconds, send it, and it, like you said, like, I had a super upper body pump. My upper body was
I thought my
jacked up after that.
Were like actual rocks.
Yeah. And then the last event was just burpee box jump over. We decided to split it by 5 reps at a time. So it was nice we did an odd number. This way you kind of finish, and the next person can start the burpee on
when you touch the floor.
Exactly, yeah. So it would be like,
you don't have to wait for the person to move out of the way.
Yeah. So we did 5 burpee box jump overs, and we absolutely sent it. Yeah, just kind of finish.
I feel like for the burpee, I feel like of the 3 AMRAPs, we were the best at the burpees.
The best on that one, you mean?
Compared to the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like the echo bike and the rower, we were more like mid-pack.
Yeah.
And the burpees were probably near the top.
Yeah. So that was the first event. We ended up finishing with 324 reps, and we got 17th. So we ranked 17th in that
out
event.
Out of 41.
41. Yeah. Second event was
Well, how did you feel about that?
How did I feel? I just felt like...
I thought it was just disgusting. Like
Yeah.
the workout. Like I kind of like that.
Yeah. I feel like it was low skill.
Yeah.
Just like absolutely send it. I feel like we had a good strategy.
Yeah.
On the burpee, I think we're both semi decent rowers. Like we're okay, but on like a competition, we're not like elite.
No, I
agree.
agree.
Then same thing for the echo bike. Like we're able to push and sustain, but
I've been working on the echo bike, but I know that's not my strength.
There's some big dogs that when they get on those freaking machines, they can either just send it.
Their power output is crazy.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think I was really proud of our performance on the burpees, and on the bike and the rower, I know that we did our best. So I felt satisfied with that workout.
Yeah.
I was so glad for it to be over because it was disgusting. Like I felt foul.
Yeah.
Felt literally ill after.
Yeah. Everyone that finished that workout was definitely white.
Yeah.
Green. A little bit white and green.
A little bit pale, a little bit gross, which is cool. Like that's what competing is all about. Like you go to that place that you don't go to often.
Yeah.
But after we finished it, I was like, how the freaky deek are we going to do the rest of the day?
Yeah, it took like 30 minutes for you to kind of come back to...
Yeah, like I just sat on my chair and I was like, I'm a literal vegetable.
They had Jugo juice and they were giving out free juices. And I was like, hey, we need to drink this like now. We need to get like some sugar back into our system ASAP.
And like, I didn't want to drink it because I was nauseous. Like it
was
was not
like, drink it. You'll feel much better.
Yeah, immediately 20 to 30 minutes later, I felt so much better. And then Marianne and Axel, who are our friends who were also competing, they were in the 5th wave. And when they finished, Marianne looked like genuinely worried. Like she was like, I don't feel good. And I was like, I promise you, you're going to be fine in 20 minutes. Drink this juice.
Yeah, it's like I remember vividly on the burpees because we do the cycle of 5s.
You're getting dizzy.
And it was like I would do my 5 burpees as fast as I could, and then you would start, and I would just like walk around to the other end of the box, and I would be leaning over and being like, "Oh my god, like I'm so dizzy. I feel like nauseous right now." And then it was like my turn to go, be like, "Shut up, go!" And then you just send it for those 5 burpees, and then every time we would do that, we did that like
we did
90 something burpees, huh? 92 burpees. We did 92 burpees. And if you think about it, like
in 6 minutes.
Yeah. Like that's a lot of transitions. And I remember every transition feeling worse and worse.
And also
worse.
in training, when I do burpee box jump overs, I try and keep my body facing the same way.
Yeah.
So that I'm not like going in circles. And I think I was sort of going in circles.
Oh, I was not. I was definitely going the same direction every time. I was purposely, because if I would have went in circles, game over.
I never really go in circles, but I remember thinking, I think I'm going in circles, but I can't think, and I'm just going whichever way feels naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. So
anyways, it was
that was the first event. It was a tough, just low skill, just send it, power, just go.
But I felt proud of my performance.
Yeah. Event 2 was another AMRAP of 6 minutes of 1 wall walk, 2 pull-ups, 3 synchro dumbbell snatches, 50 for the boys, 35 for the ladies. And then it was a ladder. So second round became 2 wall walks, 4 pull-ups, 6 snatches, and then 3, 6, 9, 4, 8, 12, etc. as far as you can go for the 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And for this one, so you had to obviously do the wall walk and the pull-ups however you wanted. Only one person could be working.
Right.
But then the dumbbell snatch, you had to be synchro at the top. So you just had to wait for your partner, but we were pretty fast on that and good. But the little asterisk here was that you couldn't like hop up on the pull-up bar by the time your partner finished the wall walk. The partner
wait
had to
behind your dumbbell.
Had to wait behind the dumbbell. So it was pretty much almost forced us to do like the wall walk into the pull-up and then dumbbell snatch and then alternate. Then I would run to the wall. So Susie did the 1
I did the
wall
odds.
walk, the 2 pull-ups, and then we both did the 3 dumbbell snatch together. And then I ran to the wall. I did 2 wall walks, 4 pull-ups. Then we came to the dumbbell. We did the 6 dumbbell snatch. Then she went to go do the 3, 6, and then we did the 9, etc. And we ended up getting to the round of
7 wall walk. No.
6.
We finished the 6 wall walks
I
and
finished the 6
12
wall
pull-ups.
walks. I did the 12 pull-ups.
And we
then
were
did,
in the snatches.
and then we did 2 snatches. This one was way too short for my liking. I would have loved for this workout to be just slightly longer to me.
To separate people.
Yeah, there was no separation really in this workout. And yeah, I would have loved for it to be like a 9-minute workout.
I loved this workout.
This workout was probably the most
We had
fun.
the most fun doing this workout. The actual workout was so fun. I would have loved for it to have been like 8 minutes even, or like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
Because I feel that you and I are both really good. Like we have a good endurance on the wall walks and the pull-ups, and we can do big sets.
Yeah.
And we never really got the chance to showcase that. Like we would have probably done a million times better ranking wise on this workout with 2 more minutes.
1 million.
No, but I just feel that, you know, in the low reps of this workout, there's like not that much competition.
Yeah. It didn't really separate the people because wall walks just take time. You can for sure speed it up. And the pull-ups, you can, you know, I'm doing butterfly pull-ups and stuff. Like you can go a little bit faster on the pull-ups, but there's no real time of fatigue because the workout is 6 minutes and you're splitting it with a partner.
It's not that much work.
It's not like people started getting tired and needing to take breaks, and the high volume wall walks or the high volume pull-ups started to slow them down. There was none of that. Like everyone just kind of went fast and was able to kind of get through the 6 minutes. So
yeah,
making it like 9 minutes would have allowed the athletes to go into like 7, 8, 9 wall walks.
Yeah,
would have
now we're
would have gone up to the pull-ups of like 18 to 20 something pull-ups, and that would have added a little element of strategy where the people who are better at these movements would have had better endurance to be able to stay on the bar, or there would have been some strategy involved with tag teaming.
Yeah,
like when to tag team with your partner. So it was a really fun event. I didn't think it was long enough. Would have loved for it to be a little bit longer. I felt
like while we were doing it, we were crushing it.
Yeah.
But then I feel like our score actually didn't end up reflecting that.
Yeah, so we ended up also finishing 17th in that event. And yeah, there was like a little, it's been a couple of years since I've been on the competition floor. Susie, is this your first time going to another gym and competing?
Yeah, it's my first time ever competing, not at our gym.
Not at our gym, yeah. So it's the first time I'm at a competition in a couple of years. And even then, like, the competition I did with Daphne was mostly for, like, fun. Like, it wasn't really like
You weren't competing at it.
Yeah, it was just to, like, get Daphne to be exposed at she was
15
at the time, right? So, it, like, to be honest, like, I haven't done, like, a serious competition in years. Like, maybe pre-COVID was the last serious competition I've done. And it's just, like, little details that are super important. When you have a 6-minute workout like this, you got to make sure that, like, the transitions and the small finer things, like, for example, I'll give an example here. I couldn't really hear my judge at all, and I had no idea how many pull-ups I had left to do or how many I was actually doing. And that's just part of the element of being inside a competition and, you know, understanding your surroundings and just having the conversation with the judge.
That's
before
what I wish we had done.
And just like little things like that. So it was funny. There was a video, someone took a video of me doing that. And on that very end of the workout, the last round, I was doing my pull-ups and I wasn't sure how many I'd done. And I thought, like, okay, like, this was my last pull-up. And I finished the pull-up and I dropped down on the bar thinking I was going to go rush to the dumbbell but when I finish the wall walk, I pop up, I look at the time and I see there's not much time left. So I'm like, okay, get on there. Like, go, get the butterflies done. Dropped. And then the judge is like, one more. I'm like, shit. So jumping back up on the pull-up bar, doing one more pull-up, then running over to the dumbbell snatch. And we had time just to do two dumbbell
reps.
snatch. maybe we could have gone an extra
Like 3,
two,
4,
at least 2 more dumbbell snatches in there. And the difference between doing 2 dumbbell snatches and doing, let's say, 4 or 5 dumbbell snatches is the difference of the ranking going from 17th in that workout to almost a top 10 performance, right? And that's a huge little error that changes. It's not like my arms were giving up that I had to like stop.
But our
on that
judge was so weird on that one, which I loved. Everyone who's volunteering to be a judge is like awesome, but like he kept saying 2 more while we were doing our snatches, and I was like, this is very confusing.
Yeah.
Like, how many more do we actually have? He kept saying 2 more, 2 more. I'm like, it's been 8 since you said 2 more. Like, where are we at, bro?
Yeah. I don't know if he was trying to encourage us or if we just couldn't hear him properly.
Yeah.
But like,
it was loud and
it
like,
was, yeah.
honestly,
DJ, like, yeah. There's a
I
lot
think
of
something
things.
like we didn't do well is like we should just counted our reps, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I learned that I took away from on the next event. I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure I count. So I counted all my skipping. I counted all the things, and I won't get too far ahead. But it's like those little things that matter so much. You go from finishing 17th to potentially even finishing like top 10 in that workout. That's a huge, tiny little error in such like a important moment, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the second workout, I think we loved it the most.
I enjoyed that workout a lot. So
And we're
that's
just
what I'm
sad
taking
that
away from it.
Sad that it wasn't a tiny bit longer. Would have loved it for it to be a little
I
bit
would have
longer.
loved for it to have been longer because I think every minute more of that workout would have been a higher ranking for us.
Yeah.
Because just based on like watching the other athletes, I feel like our gymnastics skills were like quite high compared to what of like just the form I was seeing on people on the other teams. You know, I was watching them and I was like, oh my gosh, like these are messy looking pull-ups. So I feel like they wouldn't have survived at high sets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would have been our chance to crush them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just so competitive.
Yeah. So event 2, wrap. Event 3 was a really fun deadlift, I guess, ladder. So there was every 90 seconds for 7 rounds. So it was intervals of 90 seconds. And again, I'll paint the picture for everyone. What they had done is there was a dead hang from the pull-up bar for 20 seconds. And then you had to do 10 partner deadlifts.
Yeah.
And the weight of the bar increased every single round, and there was 7 rounds. On the last and final round was the heaviest barbell, and you had to do as many reps as you could with that final weight. So to paint the picture, you would...
Talk about the time domain of the workout.
Oh, sorry. It was every 90 seconds. Sorry. So every 90 seconds, you would do a 20-second hold, and then you would do 10 deadlifts.
Then you would rest the remainder of the 90 seconds.
Yeah. And then you would move on to the next one.
And next one, you do another 20-second hold.
Yeah. And then
then another heavier 10 set of deadlifts. And you keep going up. Sorry. It's just because I don't think you said the time domain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool. So you're sitting at the exterior part of the building in the warm-up area. And they did it like massive conga line style. So every 90 seconds, a new team would enter the line.
It's so cool.
So like the first team would go, they had 90 seconds, they'd hang from the bar for 20 seconds, come off, do their 10 deadlifts, move on to the second barbell. Then the new team would come on, and then everyone at the next 90 seconds, okay, everyone's hanging from the bar for 20 seconds, then you move on. So it's really cool, like aesthetically pleasing, because you would just see this, like, you would walk in and you would see all the teams hanging on the pull-up bar
and then moving
and then going right into the deadlift and doing partner deadlift, so 2 people lifting the barbell.
It was super cool to see and watch.
And the bar, I can't remember the exact weights, but I thought it was interesting that the barbells were loaded differently. Like one side was heavier than the other side, I guess because male female. But like, for example, the first barbell was 125 pounds, so you'd have like a 45 pound plate on one side and then a 35 pound plate on the other side. Like it was unique in that way. And then it went like 125, something like 195, 245, 315, 390, and then the last bar was like 445, I think. And then the last bar, you just go as many as you can. So it's pretty much like if you don't hang on to that bar, then if you don't hang on to the pull-up bar in that 20-second time frame, then
you're eliminated.
You're pretty much eliminated. Yeah. So it was cool. It added a grip factor for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You're by the time you get to the last bar, which is where the score was calculated, your score for the workout is how many deadlifts you can do on that last weight. By the time you get there, your grip is ultra fatigued because you've done 6 or 7 20-second dead hangs plus a bunch of deadlifts in between.
I think this is the workout that I felt like I left some on the floor. I felt like I left like we got 15 deadlifts at the very last bar, and we ended up finishing 15th place in this workout. And again, like the difference between doing 15, 16, and 17 is so massive in the rankings. I think the team that pretty much did 17 deadlifts, so 2 more reps, finished like 8th place or something, or 9th place. So that's a huge difference going from 15th to top 10, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like I really almost let that team down on that event because yeah, I mean, in the moment so you have a 20-second hang. So by the time you get from the pull-up bar over, you're looking at like roughly a minute of max out, and that weight was freaking heavy. It
was so heavy.
Your posterior, like your hamstrings,
Screaming.
glutes are just shaking at that point. Although the other barbells at the beginning are not super heavy, it accumulates and then it built up quickly.
Yeah, it went from like, haha, this is funny to what the fuck very fast.
Yeah, very fast. Yeah.
Like the first 3 barbells were kind of just like for fun and games.
Yeah.
But then the 4th barbell was like, oh, this is heavy.
Did we do all 10 unbroken every time? Until the end?
Yes.
Yeah, so we did 10 unbroken partner deadlifts all the way to the very end. And then what did we break on the second to last?
I think the second to last one we did 5-5.
Yeah, the second to last one we did 5-5, yeah. Because my hamstrings started to get pretty lit at that moment. And then so we got up to that barbell, we did 8 reps. Yeah. On the final bar, we did 8 reps in a row, and then my hamstrings were screaming. My grip was like shot, and yeah. And then next thing you know, you're like, fuck, there's like 10 seconds left, and you're like, oh, like it just felt like I could have hung on for at least 1 more repetition, maybe 2 more, and just sucked it up.
I felt like that workout, I wish I could have been like more helpful. I could tell that your side of the bar was so much heavier, and on my side of the bar it felt quite manageable, the weight. Like it was still really heavy by the end, but I felt like for me I could have held on more compared to you. Like I could just tell that like my side was just so much, and I was trying to like kind of take a little bit more of a centered grip versus on the edge to like assist with the side that was heavier. But then you're also so much taller than me. So like I feel that I felt like I couldn't help the team out.
Yeah. You were definitely helping out.
You were kind of taking all this like heavy weight, and I felt like I couldn't help you. So I felt like, oh, dang, if I could have just taken a little bit more of the load, maybe we would have gotten
yeah, seeing a bunch of metal plates on one side plus bumper plates, it was definitely like, oh shit, this is gonna be heavy. And then you go and you're like, whew. But yeah, so that event was fun.
We actually ranked the best on that one of the whole day.
Yep, 15th place. Yeah.
Oh, we could have had a really good score.
Yeah. But yeah, so that one was fun.
I liked doing it though. It was really fun.
Yeah, aesthetically very visually pleasing as well to watch the other teams go at it. You're like going up to the final, and then like people are cheering you on in the last wave because they know you're just going max out. So that was cool.
I think that like from a programming side though, it was like very, 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 very low skill.
Yeah, yeah. The strength
like for
component.
an RX competition, like this competition was advertised as RX. There was no scaling options. Like you had to do it RX.
Yeah. When it was marketed as like open.
Okay, but
yeah,
if you don't do there was no options. It was this or this.
Yeah.
And I feel like as an athlete who has been trying to learn higher skill movements, I was like, okay, cool. Like anybody can hang and anybody can do a deadlift.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the strength. This was the strength test of the day, the strength component.
Which is like funny that this is the one we did the best on, because I would say neither you or I's strength in CrossFit is strength.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I'm pretty good at cleans and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a higher skill movement. Like like brute force. Nobody's like, oh, you know what? Like who's gonna lift the heaviest in the gym, nobody's gonna say Susie or Brandon. You know what I mean? Like, it's just together we did a really good job and we did really good on this workout. But I'm just saying, like, it's just funny that this is the workout we did the best on, because I would say it's not in my strengths.
But yeah, so that was the third event. And then the fourth event, which was the last one that we got to compete in, because there was technically a finale that they took the top 10 teams.
Top 10,
Spoiler alert. We did not
make the top 10.
Event 4 was a tough one. By this point, we're quite fatigued. Our body is pretty sore. Posterior grip, all the things are pretty wrecked. Your energy levels are pretty low. So this event was for time, and it was a 14-minute time cap. You had to do 60 synchro front squats. So barbell for the ladies was 65 pounds. Barbell for the boys was 95 pounds. So 60 synchronized front squats. You just had to make sure you squatted. You had to wait for your partner at the top of the squat before you can go back down. And then it was 60 double unders plus 120 single unders. And that was not synchro. That was just one athlete working at a time. So one athlete would just be skipping the 60 double unders, and then they would have to skip the 120 single skips, split it however the heck you wanted. And then second round became 40 shoulder to overhead. Synchro with your partner.
Same barbell,
same weight. And then it was 40 double unders, 80 single unders. And then the last round was 20 thrusters, synchro again. Same weight, same bar. And then 20 double unders, and then 40 single skips. And it was for time. So we started this workout.
Oh, I'm just mad thinking about this.
We started this workout doing, our strategy was, hey, we'll just try to do as many front squats as we feel comfortable doing, because we know that the next one is going to be shoulder to overhead. We're like, let's see if we can just try to hold on to 10s. And I think that strategy ended almost on
20.
the second. Yeah, 20. Yeah. 60 front squats is a decent buy-in to a workout.
Especially after, like, we had done a lot of lower body stuff that day.
Yeah. So we had kind of just done our best on the front squats. We kind of just chipped away slowly. We weren't super fast on them, I would say. I think we broke often, and front squats are not my jam, especially like high endurance, like high reps.
Not my jam either. This is like really not my jam either.
Yeah. So that like really got the legs up. And then our strategy was I was going to do all the double unders, and Susie was going to do the single skips. And I really enjoy skipping.
Brandon's a beast with the skipping rope. So that's why we made that call. Like, I can do double unders, absolutely no problem. But I was like, oh, you're a beast. Like, let's just highlight your strengths.
Yeah. So I did the 60 double unders, and then Susie did the 120 single skips, and I could tell that you were just a little bit off rhythm. And
oh my God, I couldn't get my timing. And this is going to be like such a first world problem thing, but I never single skip. I always do doubles.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was just like, my timing was awkward. I was like not enjoying it. And if anyone knows this about me, still true, my calves are just weak as fuck. Like at like 80 skips. Also, I wish I would have communicated with my judge at the beginning of the workout to be like, hey, can you give me like clear indications of where I'm at?
Yeah.
Because I had no fucking idea. I had no idea if I was at 60 or like 100. But I was starting to get a cramp in my calves. But if I had known where I was at, I could have either just like toughed it out or been like, okay, Brandon, go. Mm-hmm. But I had no clue. And even when I asked him where I'm at, he didn't tell me.
Yeah, because there was like 10 left. And then,
but I had no idea.
Yeah.
So then I was very frustrated.
By the way, I just wanted to take note that based on the previous event
you
before
were counting for me?
No, I did not count for you. I counted all my double unders so that I actually knew where I was at.
And how many did he make you do?
It was really close. It was like I think it was almost on the money, or maybe 61 double unders. Like,
yeah, okay.
It's like
he counted well.
Yeah, double unders are like
so hard to
the
judge.
Worst to count. You have to count the feet, not the rope, and it was pretty much like on the money. So I like to give judges plus or minus 5 reps Sometimes you like to think the minus, but
whatever.
most of the time it happens on the plus.
Like whatever the judge says.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if he makes me do 130 singles.
Yeah.
I just want to know how many do I have left, because my calves were literally cramping.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. And sorry for the ladies out there, especially the mothers. I was like pissing myself, and I was like, can this be over, please? Like 120 skips. This was a bad strategy. I should have not taken on that many jumps right at the beginning of the workout, because my calves were wrecked. I couldn't move them. Like, I was moving my feet, and I was like, if I move my toes too much, I'm going to fall over from the calf cramp that I'm experiencing. And then
we started the shoulder to overhead,
which requires jumping. And I was like, okay, luckily for some reason we were so good at this movement. I feel like it felt like a lightweight.
Yeah, for me, shoulder to overhead is a really good movement. I'm really efficient at that movement.
I didn't think I was as efficient as I was, but I was really happy with my shoulder to overheads. Like, we were able to bust out like 12 or something immediately.
We caught up a little bit on this movement for sure. Yeah.
Like, we were definitely killing it, but my calves were spasming. Every time I jumped for a push jerk, they're spasming.
Susie like mentioned that, and I said, don't worry, like just get through this. I'll do all the skipping. Like, I don't care. Just like,
and
let's
you had
get through
like
this.
after it was substantially less, it was like 40 doubles and 80 singles, which for Brandon is like, I've seen Brandon do 400 double unders in a row. So like, I knew that this was
probably the last competition I've done. Like so many
but
years
it's
ago.
like I knew that it really wasn't a lot of skipping for you, even though you're fatigued. You're still fatigued, but I was like, okay, if I can just get through the push jerks, then he'll do the skipping and my calves can recover for a second before we get to the thrusters. Unfortunately, our judge wasn't listening to us communicate to each other, which is not their job. It's not their job. And it was a very hard workout to judge. However, then we finished our 40.
Yeah, we finished and I communicated to Susie, I'm going to do all the skipping. Just get through this barbell. So I said, just get through this. I'll do all the skipping. Don't worry. And then
that was great too, because it made me get through the barbell way faster than I would have.
Yeah. And then we started the skipping, or I started the skipping. I did the 40. It was 40 double unders. And then I just went from the double unders
right into the singles. It was so smooth.
Like right from the he said, okay, good. And then I was like, then I just started 1, 2, 3. Like I started doing all the single skips.
Oh, I want to throw up thinking about it. I'm mad.
He turned his body so that I guess paint the picture again, like our barbells are facing each other.
And we're on the outside of them.
Our ropes are on the outside of them. So on the first round, he's looking at me, and then he has to look on the other side of the barbells to look at Susie. So I finished my double unders, and he just assumed that Susie was going to skip.
Which is fine.
Yeah, which is normal, I guess.
His fault,
But so I started skipping the single skips, and then he looked away from me, and I was like, hey, man, like, I'm skipping. And then he turned. And then he
yelling at him.
And then Susie, pointed to me, and then he looked over to me, and then he said, no, like, she has to skip. I'm like, no, I'm skipping. Like, this is all while I'm doing single skips. And then he turned again to Susie, and then Susie's like, no, like, he's doing all the single skips right now. And I was like, dude, just count my single skips. Because I knew in the rules that anyone could skip. It didn't have to be switch. He started counting.
The judge wrongly thought that Brandon thought he wasn't done the double unders. And he kept being like, no, you're good. And I'm like, no, stop talking to me. I even said to him, I was like, I can't jump. My calves are cramping. Please count his skips. Yeah. And then he was like, oh, and he felt so bad. So honestly, it's okay. But we lost. You did what, like 40 singles before he turned around? 30 singles?
Yeah, solid.
So we lost a good 30 seconds of our workout.
Yeah. And then anyway, so we started like,
and then I was
counting.
very frustrated and frazzled.
Yeah. And then after that, we had the 20 thrusters, which was
honestly,
actually
we
easier.
did a really good job on that.
Easier than I thought it was going to be.
Same. I was really proud of us.
Something like that.
I think we did 8-7-3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. Yeah, my shoulders were burning at that point, which was also like at the end of the workout. I was like, shit, like I should have just held on to the bar for those 2 last reps. Like I was giving it everything, and then I mean,
I can't complain. I had a whole rest while we were skipping.
Literally, as I was resting, like I remember right before picking up the bar, I looked at the judge and I said, "Look at me when I'm doing my skipping. Yeah, she's not gonna skip." And then I picked up the bar, and then we finished, and then I went from the double unders. straight to the single skips.
And
then
he counted
finish.
all of them well.
Yeah.
And he felt very bad at the end.
He
and it's
apologized.
all part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I hate to be the athlete who's hating on a judge.
Yeah.
Because if an athlete came to our competition and gave shit to one of our volunteers, I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
We didn't communicate with the judge. Maybe when Brandon started doing doubles, what I should have done is said, keep watching him. He's also going to do the singles.
Yeah.
That would have been the smart thing to do. So that was my bad. And it is what it is. But we paid big money for those 30 seconds on that workout.
Yeah. So we ended up finishing the workout in 11:32.
Yeah.
And we finished 22nd in that workout.
That was our worst finish of the day.
And that bumped us down. So we finished overall 20th out of 41 teams.
At least we're in the top half.
Finished in the top 50%. Yeah. Which, which kind of leads me to the next point. I thought that their scoring system was also very interesting.
Thank you. I would like to discuss this further because I hate it. But I just sound like a sore loser.
Yeah. Well, I thought their scoring system was interesting. I think it's very old school. I wish I could see on the app how it works. So if you finish, okay, this is actually, I just clicked on the number one team and it gives me a better idea. If you finish, so I'll just say it, our competition, I love this ranking system.
I love it too.
Because it kind of it plays into against the field. You're playing, when you're at a CrossFit competition, it's not a training session. You're competing against the teams around you.
Yeah.
So at our competition, it's the team with the least amount of points at the end
that wins. Yeah.
If you finish first place in an event, you get 1 point. If you finish second, you get 2 points. You finish third, you get 3 points, and on until the last team. Right. So in this situation, there'd be 41 teams. So the 41st team, if you finish dead last, you would get 41 points at the end. They don't do it like this. They do this point system where it's the most amount of points at the end. If you finish first, you get 100 points. If you finish second, you get 95 points. If you finish third, you get 90 points. But then it's kind of hard to tell.
More.
It starts to drop significantly. If you finish seventh, you get 73 points. Let me just click on a random team. Let's click on Blitz mode, which was Axel and Marianne's team. They, in their fourth workout, demolished it. They had a really...
They did so well. It was so fun to watch them
Their capacity in that workout was really impressive.
They did so good.
They finished sixth in that last workout, and they got 75 points.
But the team who got seventh got 73 points, but the team who got first got 100 points.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
But if you get 15th, for example, then you get 57 points. If you finish 28th, you get 38 points. So it's kind of like this weird weird tracker where I was curious to look at another team, and I don't want to put this team on blast here.
Beat us?
They beat us. So there's a team that finished 18th position overall, and again, it's based on pure points, right? So we beat them and crushed them in 3 of the 4 workouts. And this team demolished the last workout where they finished 4th place. So their rankings for workout 1 was 20th, for workout 2, 20th, for workout 3, 33rd, and then for workout 4, they finished 4th. And they finished 18th overall. We, in those workouts,
we did 17,
15th, and then 22nd. And then they finished 18th, we finished 20th, so it's kind of like this.
It makes me a little bitter to think that
if you finish one really good workout, then you're going to get really bumped up there, and the thing about
it's not very well-rounded scoring, even though CrossFit expects you to be a well-rounded athlete in order to do well.
It favors teams who are
niche
specialized in certain things, which is not what CrossFit is necessarily about.
Yeah.
But I
know I'm sounding like a sore loser, so I'm trying so hard not to. I'm so bitter.
It's an interesting scoring system, and at the end of the day, when you sign up for a competition, you're there
get what you get.
Yeah, exactly. You're there to compete, and I thought it was just an interesting scoring system for sure.
I like my overall feeling from the competition is I had a great time.
Yeah.
I
Jim ran a great event.
Enjoyed the event a lot. Like the music was good, the vibe was good, it was organized, it was cool spending the day with you and not having to worry about our child and all of these things. Like it was a great day.
Shout out Liv for babysitting Tommy.
Thank you, Liv. I feel so unsatisfied because to me, I feel like this was my CrossFit season. Like I was leading up to this competition and I put too much on that. And I just feel mad because I don't feel like the training I've been doing reflects coming 20th. I don't feel like the performance we had on the day reflects 20th. And I don't feel like the workouts were hard enough.
Yeah.
I think that had the workouts had a little bit of skill more, like maybe some toes to bar, maybe some handstand push-ups, maybe some like cleans,
yeah,
snatches, like something with skill.
Yeah.
There was like wall walks and pull-ups in like a 6-minute thing.
Yeah,
very quick.
Yeah.
But, you know, even still, it was so minimal volume that only one partner probably needed to know how to do those movements. And you could have still done a decent score because it was such a short workout. Yeah. I just feel like personally, I'm pissed because I poured my heart and soul into my training and to learning all these like higher skill movements. And I feel that I'm at such a peak level of my fitness right now. And I don't feel like I got to showcase that. And it's not the competition's fault. I just feel dissatisfied.
Yeah. Well, these are the hard conversations to have, but the reality is that it is your first CrossFit competition outside. So there's like little things that you have to like improve on. We have to improve on as a team.
I learned so many things.
So like it would be silly for us to be like, yeah, we're just going to show up to our first team competition together and smash it. It's also the game you play. Like when you go for a run, when you go for a high rocks, if you go for a marathon, you know the course, you know what you're doing. You're running 42 or 21 kilometers, whether you're doing a running race, you know what high rocks is, you know that you have to go X amount of distance, you got to push this amount of stuff. For CrossFit, you don't really know. It's varied. It's they try to test overall fitness
100%,
but you know there are biases. Like this competition was very biased to being as open as and inclusive as possible. Ours is as well because it's a local competition and it's a fundraiser for their gym. So they kind of have try to make it as inclusive as possible. But yeah, that's kind of the game that we play in. When you sign up to a CrossFit competition,
100%.
But it just leaves for room for improvement.
100%.
And
I think there were a lot of things that I know that I didn't do super well. Like I don't want this podcast to sound like I'm blaming the competition. Like I just feel dissatisfied, not because they didn't provide the event, like not at all. Just because I know I'm better than coming 20th based on what I saw from the other teams. Like I didn't look at the other teams and think, oh, there's no chance I can beat these people. I looked at the other teams and I was like, I'm gonna fucking crush these people. And I feel like it didn't necessarily reflect that. I think one of the big things that I wish I had done is like talk to my judge more before the workouts. And like, hey, can you like count out loud, or can you give me a clear sign when I have 3 reps left or something like that? Because it happened way too often that I was like, where am I? Like, what rep am I at? I don't know. And I feel like you lose a lot of time in that situation. And that's such an easy fix. Because if you have that conversation with your judge, they're going to be like extra on it for you.
Yeah, we're definitely hungry to do better for our next one. We learned a lot. We had a lot of fun at that competition. Shout out to Jim Letelier for putting on a great event.
I would definitely do that competition again. It was definitely... It was an overall positive experience going and doing the competition. I'm just dissatisfied
with
my own performance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's a wonderful event, a wonderful day. We got to spend it together.
Yeah,
It's
that
really
part was
cool.
amazing.
But for sure, you never want to leave a competition feeling like you didn't leave it all out on the table, you know?
And I do not feel like I left. I feel like I left with things in my tank
Yeah.
that I didn't use.
Especially like
And I'm pissed.
the last event is when that all that stuff happens. You know, it's like if that happened on the first or second event, you're like, okay, like
We can
head
make up
down,
for it.
like let's go for that last one, you know? But this was like the feeling that we left with on the last one where there was errors on both ends and you're like, shit.
There was
and
athlete
then, and then it ended up
errors
being
and-
like our worst event and ended up bumping us down in the rankings. And we're like, shit.
Yeah,
shit,
we had
shit.
kind of been sitting at 15th all day.
Yeah.
And then we finished at 20th. It was kind of like,
Yeah.
dang.
Shoot. Yeah. But that's just leaves us hungry to train more. I'm feeling like a nice little boost of motivation to go into some training. I am very much looking forward to, you know, my half marathon coming up in almost a month from now.
Yeah.
But more than that, I'm looking forward to getting back into like CrossFit. I feel like CrossFit has really taken a back burner over these last 11 weeks. I just finished week 11 out of 16 for my half marathon program. So I felt like I haven't really put in a lot of like serious CrossFit training going up to this competition. And that's okay because my goal is to PR this half marathon coming up in October. But for sure, like this competition, doing it with you kind of relit a little bit of fuel and
Hunger.
a little fire inside me to train for CrossFit and to, you know, bump it up for the next one. I have the half marathon, then I have a CrossFit competition literally the week after that. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to like the open this year. Like I feel like I want to get a really good open performance. I've been training hard and yeah. So
Yeah. We'll see.
we'll see. Thanks, love, for being such an awesome partner.
Thank you for being an awesome partner.
Should we end the podcast with our client of the week?
Pew, 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 pew.
We got a newer client over the last few weeks
Hell yeah.
who has been ultra consistent and has really, I guess, dove into the community aspect, has really just bought into the programming. It's been really cool to watch his few weeks of progressions here at CrossFit Max.
Yeah.
And he's also been listening to the podcast. And not only has he been listening to the podcast, but he's gone back to day one of 2.5 years ago of
I
listening
think that is so cool.
to all the podcasts. And he kind of fills me up to
Like
date
where he's at.
on where he's at. Yeah. And he's almost live. He's like, I listen to the new episode every week, but then I also have been kind of catching up since the beginning.
That's so funny.
Which I think is awesome. So shout out to Pascal for being
Woohoo, Pascal,
such an awesome
client of the week.
client who has been absolutely smashing his workouts. I think he sent me a photo today of like how many sessions he's done
He's crushing it.
in August. And I think it was like he was doing 5 or 6 sessions, maybe even 6 sessions a week, which is pretty crazy. But most importantly, I've loved like the fact that he's been very coachable. He's been absolutely just he's ultra committed to the program. And I
Right.
love when athletes are like, okay, like I'm going to commit to the program. He came to our gym and was worried about a previous injury that he's dealt with in the past. And yeah, how many workouts? 5. Yeah, he's pretty much trained on average almost 6 times a week for the last 4 weeks. There was one week that he did 5 sessions.
Unacceptable.
All the other weeks he did 6
Freaking
sessions,
love it. That's amazing.
which is awesome. So shout out Pascal for being just an awesome dude, really diving into the program here and committing to it.
And supporting the pod.
Yeah, exactly. And supporting the podcast. We appreciate you, man. And we appreciate all of you listeners. Thank you for tuning in. This was a little bit of a longer one and more like personalized one, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys would like to do a CrossFit competition, let us know, because we
Sign up for Turn Up the Heat, Volume 4, next July.
We would definitely love to start getting like groups of people, like kind of mapping out some competitions. If there was like a few people that
Yeah, it would
were
be
like,
fun to have like an entourage, like a CrossFit Max crew.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see that at this competition. There were gyms that would bring a tent and have like, 10
athletes or
four
something.
teams, 5 teams competing in the event. And yeah, I would love to kind of map out some events where you show up as CrossFit Max and you dominate as CrossFit Max. So
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Make our gym loud.
Yep. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.
Bye.